So, the first question, from the perspective of your religion, what is the concept of something greater? And Rabbi Kornspan, we'll have you answer that question first.
The time begins now.
The time begins now. And I'm right on time.
My colleagues and I have a daunting task this evening. It has been said that it is easy to say what God is not, but it is truly impossible to explain what God is. In Judaism, we note the concept of the one God going back to the beginning of creation. The first human beings, having breathed within them souls, had a close relationship with the Lord. This relationship continues, but throughout the ages of humankind, things become corrupted. Noah and his family then carry on the worship of the one God, but again, something happens. And it wasn't until the time of Abraham and Sarah, who arrive on the scene, that they promulgate publicly and teach that there is one God. Indeed, these are amazing people of faith. And one of the explanations for the appellation of Ivri, or Hebrew, has a concept from the root of the word meaning to cross over, that not only did they cross over the Tigris and Euphrates, but they crossed over philosophically and theologically to the other side of the world, promulgating the fact that there is only one God, creator of all heaven and earth, and that God is the God of all humankind. Not only this, but this God commands and demands ethics and morality, kindness, and mercy from each one of us. The great teacher Maimonides, who most people on the recent religion quiz didn't know, and who is the genius rabbi who lived in the 12th century, carefully composed his teachings from all of the written Bible, the Torah, and all of the oral, and succinctly taught about God with the following. Firstly, he wrote that there is a creator, perfect in all matters of perfection. From God we are created, and from God we continue to exist. God must continue to will the world to exist, for if God took this away, we would all cease and vanish. So important is God in this respect and in all respects that the first of the 10 commandments really isn't even a commandment. It's rather an introduction where God is saying, hello, I'm the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of slavery. This personal introduction actually sets the cornerstone of our faith. This revelation at Mount Sinai, when Moses led the children of Israel from Egypt, is considered unparalleled in human existence. Yes, God would speak at times to a single person or two, perhaps to a prophet, but this is the only time that God appeared before an entire people in revelation, spoke to them directly, firmly established a covenant and the relationship between humankind and God. The second fundamental is that God is one, not only in number, but is singular. There is none like God. None can be compared to God. This is clearly stated in the 5th book of the Bible, Deuteronomy. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. A third principle is the negation of anything material and physical. There are no material physical properties, according to Judaism, for the divine being. In Deuteronomy 4:15, Moses tells the Israelites, remember, you did not see any form at Mount Sinai. Therefore, Judaism's strict monotheism, God does not have a physical form. The fourth principle is God's primeval existence. That is, God is beyond time. God was before everything, and God exists after all ceases to exist. Inherent in this idea is an amazing concept. Only God can create from nothing. We, for example, need something from which we can experiment and then create. In the next principle, we learn that only God and no one else should ever be worshipped. Further, we learn that God knows all and rewards and punishes us according to our deeds. We are his children. If you look throughout all the Jewish teachings, you will see a picture of God who is omniscient, all-knowing, omnipresent, being everywhere, omnipotent, all-powerful, and yet God gives us, with all of this, free will. I know those really fancy words we're using. But by any picture of God, it would not be complete unless I would add the following. If I wouldn't include that God is our parents, that God loves each and every one of us, his children, that God is the God of everyone, of every being, and of everything. And though there is so much we cannot comprehend about God, God is as close to us as the air that we breathe, and our souls within us, which is the very spark and light from God himself.